Hello, coinagers and flucking, flourishing humans out there. I have a special guest today, the fabulous Leny. Hello. She is a mindset coach, all-round soul whisperer, helping people ditch burnout after she burnt out herself. She helps people find balance and actually like themselves again, which is truly epic. She had a plot twist after her corporate chaos. She decided to connect with herself. She's still in that corporate realm, but very much a more connected, fully functioning, well, maybe, I don't know, are any of us fully functioning really, but she is certainly an awesome human and putting heart and soul into everything she does. Welcome, Leny.
Thank you for the introduction. It was really sweet to hear.
You're
Uh,
welcome. I would love
uh,
to hear from you. How are you flourishing right now? It could be today, it could be this week. What's
it's
happening?
been this week. It's been good, I would say. It's been a very up and down this year, I would say, in general, in my own journey, in my family journey with my kids and everything. But the past week, I think I kind of landed in being much more grounded, more clarity about things, how I want things to be in my life, in my relationships with the kids, my job and the business, and I feel very grounded actually. So
That's
I'm
really
excited.
nice because
Yeah.
off camera I had just said to you that I wasn't feeling very grounded.
Mm.
So what really helps you feel grounded? What are the things that have happened? Maybe it's practices or yeah, things that have happened in your life.
Yeah, it's a combination of practices that I have done, and also maybe things that are aligned and happening in my life at the moment. Things are starting to working out. So things that we've been fighting for a lot for with my son. He's autistic. We've been trying to get the help support that we have. We had some really intense emails and discussions with the school as well last week. That actually seems to be working, which is maybe not the right word to say, but they actually try to finally understand what we're meaning, and we've been able to set up a good plan, a communication plan with them as well. So, and me being able to know, okay, I'm trusting my gut intuition, how I need to take action and respond for my family and everything. Then
Yeah.
it gives me more like grounding. Okay, I'm not the crazy mom,
Mm,
I'm not the crazy lady or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah, and then of course the fall here in Sweden is amazing now. The sun is blue sky, the colors starting to come to the trees. I've been able to take my walks in the nature to ground myself and really experience this amazing nature. And my meditations and breath work has helped a lot as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so I love hearing people's practices and how many they have because it's not just a one size fits all, is it? And I know that
Mm.
that's part of your toolbox and part of you what you offer in working with you. How did that journey start for you?
Oh, I was not a very grounded person before. I was a
Yeah.
very high performance stressed people
Mm.
pleaser before I started this journey. But I think I've always been a very high achiever since young age. I mean, academics, getting the best grades, in university and everything, even when I was starting my corporate career. But everything happened when I became a parent, basically. That kind of was a turning point for me. And, you need to then you put yourself on the high expectation of being a great parent. It's going to be the best mom, and it's going to be, you have the expectation how parenting would be as well. And then we get a child who is have a lot of challenges
Mm.
from early age with sleep deprivation and also allergies and stuff. And the older he grew into toddler age, he also started to have a lot of big emotions and strong-willed and tantrums and meltdowns that could last for hours.
Mm.
So with that being very tired and exhausted, and then I was getting pregnant with my second child, and unfortunately, during the pregnancy I didn't feel I wanted to have him. I kind of rejected him already while I was carrying him. I was just wishing he was going to be a child that was sleeping. uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so I think it was kind of, I guess this maybe impacted him during the pregnancy, I guess, but he came, and that kind of was turning point. He was not a good sleeper as well. So he was even worse than the first one, and he had even more allergies than the first one.
Yeah.
So I kind of crashed during my paternal leave. I was so exhausted, my body and mind and emotion, and I was trying, of course, for your kids, you're doing so much for them, and of course, especially when they have health issues, and
Mm,
you're trying, and you get stressed about, okay, they didn't get enough sleep, or didn't get enough food, or they didn't,
mm,
oh, you cannot eat this, they're gonna have stomach ache. You reverse so much as a parent, especially first time parent.
yeah.
So I just crashed. It started kind of creeping in a little bit. I think I was already burned out during my pregnancy, but it came out when I started to kind of just stop functioning after a while.
Mm,
My body just stopped. I couldn't do anything. I was just laying in bed and I couldn't do anything. So my partner, fortunately, could help out, and he could go into parental leave a little bit early as well and help out. So, but that kind of was a turning point, understanding that how much I put my effort into other people, which I should because you're a mom, but you should also ask for help. I didn't ask for any help at all during this time.
yeah.
Being raised to be an independent woman, you
Yeah.
should not ask for help, and you should be able to do it on your own. And yeah,
Yeah,
that kind
it's really fascinating how society, or I mean, whether it's society or whether it's how we interpret it, there is that thing of we can have it all and we can do it all, and we should be able to. I mean, shoulds creep in, and then you kind
yeah,
of red flag. It's sort of it's like that. Should is that really what where we should be
mm,
going as a society? And I mean, I know you work with mothers, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and really, like, it would be amazing to be able to have that information as a
mm,
even before you've given birth, to
yeah.
know that. Is that something that you're a big advocate for?
Yeah, definitely, definitely, and understand to. I would recommend anyone who's planning to have a family to really do their inner healing, understanding their own self, their whole people pleasing, kind of putting the pressure of everything else, that they need to kind of overcome that before, because it's going to be so hard if you're going to try to be everything. Because as a mom, you need to be so many different roles as well. You have a career in a corporate job, or you have to do this, and you have to be a parent. But if you just ask for help and understand that asking for help is not weakness, it's
Yeah.
actually braveness to ask
Mm.
for help, and also to be able to show vulnerability. Well, now I cannot find the word in English. To be vulnerable, exactly,
Yes, yes,
as well.
vulnerability,
It's
yeah,
also very important,
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and say that you are struggling, you're having a hard time. It's not you're failing because you're saying that, because I think many people are afraid to say that. So I
Mm,
think it's very important for people before they get kids, and also understand their inner child. And I mean, there's so many triggers comes up as a parent when you have a child. So
totally.
can you do some kind of reparenting in a child journey before that? I think that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because I think, I mean, my kids are a bit older, they're in their 20s, and whilst I didn't have a corporate job, and I think that was probably what saved me, because my first child basically didn't sleep longer than 2
Mm,
hours for the first year, and so I was completely sleep deprived, and but thankfully, I was also in another country. I was living in Germany at the time, so it was we were isolated, and we kind of, like, made do, and when in that way, it kinda helped me. I think if I had have been, like, you know, knee deep in a career and try to juggle all of that, I would have been completely broken. As it was, I was tired, I was exhausted and sleep
mm,
deprived, because thankfully my second child did sleep well. So, certainly in comparison,
yeah, yeah.
to the first, yeah, and it feels like there is, even still, I mean, my kids are in their 20s. I have friends who have all age ranges of kids, but there is that kind of disconnect between what you see and what people think a family looks like, and the reality. Do
Yeah.
you feel like people now, is it one of the reasons why that is because we don't necessarily have any contact with young children anymore?
Mm, yeah. I
Yeah,
think so. Definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah. And I know you've done a breath work, and that's a really big part of your life. How has that helped you flourish?
Oh, it has helped me so much to not respond in reaction. I think that was the most thing, like, especially when you are so tired and exhausted, but also having kids that have very strong feelings and emotions and will. it can definitely trigger you, and it's easy for you to fall back into a reaction kind of parenting more than responding in the parenting, and also in your relationship with your partner or friends or wherever.
Mm.
It's not everything, I would say. And I think it helped me to kind of step back and see the situation in a different perspective, seeing from a more grounding place with a more objective um, um, perspective,
Mm.
rather than you are hurting me, and so now I'm going to hurt you back, because that's what usually happens when you are dysregulated and someone is triggering you.
Yeah.
You don't do it consciously; it's just
No,
unconsciously you're doing that.
it's
So
that automatic, isn't it? You kind of
yeah,
that automatic
yeah,
groove, and it's getting yourself out of that automatic
yeah,
reaction. I love
yeah.
that you're using all the time this distinction between reacting and responding, which is so different. It feels so different, and in a
Mm,
situation can change a whole family
yeah,
dynamic, can't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can-
Mm. If is there something that you um, would tell or whisper to your younger self, maybe your like late 20s self? What would you whisper to yourself at that age with now what you know
Oh,
now?
uh, I was such a high achiever, people pleaser at that time. Definitely, I think, and that kind of slipped into the parenting as well, I think. But to be able to really understand that you don't have to, you are worthy and lovable and acceptable just as
Mm,
who you are. You don't have to perform that much. You don't have to take on too much responsibility. You don't have to take on other people's responsibilities or emotions or reactions, which I did a lot. Being an empath and a sensitive person as I am, I do that a lot. And I
yeah.
take them on as myself. So like learning that, like what's yours is yours, and what
Mm.
others are their kind of problem, wherever it is.
Oh, yeah.
And your worth is not based on your performance or what you're doing. I think that's something I would definitely say in my late 20s to me. And yeah.
Yeah. Do you have
Mm.
practices that help you kind of remind yourself of that, or protect yourself from being, I mean, you're being an empath, it can be really difficult to kind of, switch
Mm.
off, or have some kind of layer between you
Mm.
and everything. What helps
Mm.
you in that?
I have two very good exercises that I'm using. One is the protective bubble, which is really amazing. It's a breathing exercise, of course, you to ground yourself first, but then you're kind of visualizing you're carrying this invisible bubble that
Mm.
are protecting you through the whole day. That if someone's come with a negative energy or comment or anything, you just bounce back to them because it's
Mm,
coming from them, it's not impacting you. That's a
yeah,
really good exercise. And the other one is the cord cutting exercise as well. Like if you maybe could be someone that are virtual somewhere else, but I mean, parents or, sometimes you
yeah,
can feel the
definitely.
energy between them, You can
Yeah,
just imagine the cord you having connected to them, and then you just cut it off, and then they don't impact you anymore from that phone call you had with them or wherever it is. So it's
yeah,
also very good exercise.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're really good. I use one too that is um, putting on a pretend mirror as if it's a little necklace. And sometimes the mirror is small, so it's sort of reflecting back. And sometimes, if I'm feeling super vulnerable, it's like a mirror armor. I mean, it's not unlike the bubble, but it's kind of, I don't know, this process. It helped me
Mm,
during a time where I had a lot of contact with the public, and I
mm,
just found it really overwhelming, just being met with everybody's else's stuff. It wasn't
yeah.
mine, but I found it really difficult um, to kind of, yeah, I guess reflect that back, to not take it on, to not have it seep in and really impact me.
Mm.
That was another helpful one, and yeah, I just love that in my head. It's like, oh, how do I feel today? Oh, I think I need the big mirror.
Yeah, that's also very good.
Yeah, I even
Mm,
would sometimes say to my husband, "It's a big mirror day today," and so he would get it.
mm.
He would, like,
That's good.
understand.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
it's really
Yeah,
cute, actually.
yeah,
Works really well.
yeah.
Yeah. What's something that you wish more people talked about openly?
Uh, I would say more about emotions and struggles. I mean, so many people are trying to put on a facade and everything is perfect and now living the perfect life and have the perfect house and a husband and children and everything. But when you are really talking about, especially I realize that when I'm sharing more about my story and our challenges, I have more people from my old friends from when I was a child to my new friends contacting me. Oh, thank you for sharing this. We're also having this struggle and we're also having, people, you should not be alone in these things, and you should be able to find, I mean, if you speak about things, and you should not be ashamed of your
Yeah.
struggles as well and your emotions and also process the emotions, I think, because many people are bubbling up a lot of the emotions and thoughts inside of them. And
Mm.
especially I know Sweden is very high, and maybe the Nordic countries as well when it comes to
Yeah.
mental health issues as well. I mean, the
Mhm.
dark doesn't help, dark period, but
Dark
I
does.
think the doesn't help at all. So just being able to speak about their emotions and taking
Mm.
help when they feel mental health issues and stuff like that, I think that's very, very important. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, both of us living in the Nordic region, um, you realize that the talking about things is something that certainly doesn't happen. I mean, I live in Finland, and people don't talk. I mean, that
mm,
they're known for for not having small talk. I think
exactly.
it's a little bit different in Sweden. They're a little bit
Yeah, a
open.
little bit more at least,
Yeah,
but
a
not
little
that
bit.
much.
Yeah,
Just
but
a little
not
bit.
the same. Not the same as in
Yeah,
as perhaps like the UK or the US or
yeah,
Australia, where maybe there's a little bit more of a dialogue around that.
yeah.
If somebody like what you having been through, this journey yourself and of this self healing, if somebody was feeling really like kind of ready to burst or in that real breakdown kind of phase, what would you recommend for them to do?
I mean, definitely asking for help, and also, I
Mhm.
mean, feel that emotions. I mean, if you're feeling really, you want to cry, you feel angry, or wherever it is, you need to process those feelings. You really need to feel them and experience them. You need to move them through your body. I mean,
Mm,
EFT tapping, I use a lot for that as well. It's really
okay.
helping me to go through the emotions, starting like I'm so upset, I'm so angry, I hate this, and wherever it is, you really go through it and feel an emotion, but then you're tapping into the other feelings more neutral and then more positive, I think. I think that's really
Mm,
helpful in the moment when you're really feeling like you are stressed or close to a
mm,
breakdown and so on. But then I would definitely say like seek out for help. I
mm,
mean, if it's going to be the healthcare system somewhere, or if it's going to be a coach or a healer, wherever it is, I mean, ask for help. I would say talk to, see if there's someone in your friends or family that you feel that you can trust. I mean, I think that's maybe the most chance that people don't want to feel vulnerable or they don't want to ask for help. I think that's the most issue. They don't want to say that I'm struggling with this because they are ashamed. I think there's a lot of shame about this. But
mm.
feel the emotions definitely first. Don't suppress them, and then try to reach out to someone to talk to. Obviously, yeah,
So I think that's one of the hardest things, isn't it? When you're feeling really like the lowest of low, is that the effort it takes to reach out is really
yeah,
hard, isn't it?
yeah.
And
It
and
really
it
is.
and it might be just that trusted friend if they know someone else. It's almost
Mm,
just a, a tiny Batman signal. I just had in my head,
yeah,
that you put out the
exactly.
bat signal, and how you can do that in your trusted friendship group where
Yeah,
when you're feeling um,
mm,
that really low, especially as new parents. I'm
yeah,
thinking back to myself, like
mm,
you're so in it, and I was so disconnected from my own self, really, in a way.
mm,
I just, you kind of you're one with this baby, and everything, all the focus
yeah,
becomes on them, which
yeah,
isn't great, really.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What's something, Lenny, that you're unlearning in this phase of your life?
So much unlearning. I mean, it's it's a lot of. I mean, I'm learning the whole self doubt, the self criticism. I mean, that's been
Yeah.
with me for a long time, I think, and
Mm,
also unlearning to the mask and different identities I maybe have put on. Trying to be a certain person to be accepted or loved. Be trying to be fully my authentic myself. I
yeah.
mean, you always try to fit in different places when you grow
Mm,
up as a child
mm,
and in jobs and stuff like that. But to really speak up my mind and really show who I really am and not be ashamed of all my parts. I mean, even I do always have, I mean, we all are human, we all have our parts that you always can work with, but show them anyway. Don't be ashamed of them. I mean, I always very forget things and drop things. I mean, that's just part of me. I just have to
Yeah,
live with
yeah.
it, you know? So,
And that
yeah,
self-compassion and kindness
yeah,
towards yourself, it takes a long time to build
yeah,
that, I think.
yeah,
You need,
exactly.
yeah, because I mean, you go through life and you have these experiences, and as children, you're kind of forming this sense of who you are, and and it comes with a whole lot of stuff sometimes, family,
Mm.
culture, and what are the things that really helped you move through that? I mean, you've talked about breath work, and some other things. What's helped you really connect with yourself and love yourself more?
I think it was when I was diving into the coaching and NLP specifically. I got more interested in coaching, especially when my son got diagnosed with autism. I kind of got more interested in how the brain works. I mean, he has a
Yeah,
different way of thinking and stuff like that.
yeah.
I found NLP as a very interesting tool to see how that could maybe work mostly for him than I was thinking. And then
What
I
do you want
started.
to sorry
Sorry.
to interrupt, but do you want to just explain if people haven't heard of NLP
Oh,
before what
NLP,
it
yes.
is? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. So NLP is narrow linguistic programming is
yeah,
what NLP stands for. It's a coaching methodology, or I would say, to help you change your mindset, power up your mindset, really work actually very close with your nervous system as well, and using a lot of um, a lot of visuals, but you do work a lot with the different senses, for example, your sight, your hear, what you can feel, everything, and really go into the unconscious mind of things that are hidden behind your conscious mind, basically.
yeah.
So, and that's very powerful tool, I think.
Mm,
Of course, when I was certified for that, I also went through self coaching and try some tools and stuff, and it really helped me to understand the unlimiting beliefs of things that are put behind from early childhood that I maybe not even remember, that you can find and
yeah,
you can really heal them and transform them in a really powerful and safe way as well. So it's, yeah.
mm.
Mm,
Yeah, it's interesting that because I think we move through life and we have these experiences and understanding that things that have happened in the past, if we're not kind of looking at them or addressing them or even recognizing that they're an influence, it can just have
mm,
such an impact, I guess, positive and negative on
yeah.
our lives without us even realizing.
Mm, mm.
And it's so awesome that you have so many tools, and that you work with them. What was that journey like for you, the coaching, going through your coaching qualification? Because I know for other
Mm.
people I've spoken to, it can be you're going through for this process for a reason, but you're also uncovering so much about yourself. How was that for you?
Oh my God, it's been depressing sometimes.
Feel all the feelings.
Yeah, I know. You really
Yeah,
dive deep. It's
yeah.
really a personal journey you have to go through
Mm,
yourself. Definitely, you cover uncover a lot of things very, very deep inside of
mm,
you. Definitely, and can be very. I know one of the first one who really died dope. I was very depressed for like 1 month. It took a
mm,
while. They were actually also kind of warning that you can be feel quite low for a while, but then also you get the tools to get out of this. But it's really
yeah.
important that you dive into those things and actually resolve them and so on. So
Yeah,
it's
that
been
you're
a
not
journey.
sitting in those feelings for too long
No,
because then
no,
that can that you're
exactly.
moving through or have those processes
Yeah,
that you're
mm,
releasing them or it
yeah,
comes to some kind of close. Yeah,
mm,
otherwise, but it's what
yeah,
makes you a great coach, isn't it? Really, that
mm,
you go
mm,
through that process yourself,
yeah,
you do
mm,
all of this healing, and then you have
mm,
this incredible experience that's yeah that you're able to then know the process that others can go through. I think
mm,
it's important,
yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
mm.
How does intention setting fit into your life? Is that something that you're kind of
Yes.
conscious about?
Yeah, definitely. I think the intention setting and the gratitude, just the whole way of putting things into word, I think is very important, because it's kind of tricking your mind a little bit as well of taking that direction or thinking in a more positive way as well. So by setting intention for your day or the week or wherever it is, I think is very important, because it's kind of set you in a great mode, and actually helps your body as well kind of go into that feeling as well.
Mm,
And I think it's also when you set an intention, it's you kind of set a guide for you how you want to act
yeah,
or behave or do during the day or week or wherever it is as well. So I think that's very,
yeah.
very important. Yeah.
And where do the seasons fit in for you? We've talked. We meet often outside of this recording for people who are listening. Lenny and I have been
Mm,
in each other's worlds for about a year, and I know that
mm,
we're both very interested. We live in the Nordic region. The seasons are really like distinct, but also that
mm,
idea of the seasons of our life. How does
mm.
that kind of impact and affect, and how do you celebrate those? I guess.
Yeah, they've been coming a lot back and forth. I mean, not the real
Mm,
seasons, but other seasons in
yeah.
life. And I really like, especially when you're within personal development and coaching, you will go through them all over again,
Mm,
all the time. It never ends. It just be another layer. I think it was one of our other friends here that was talking
yeah.
about the spiral. It's like you're going through the same thing over and again, but you're going up higher, and this other things are coming up, and maybe you're doing it for another level. So I think that's definitely how I see the different seasons. You will have to go through them. You will be down for a while, but knowing and having the knowledge and experience that I will be able to come out of it as well in
Mm,
newer version, in a better version, with more knowledge and experience. So I think that's I try to handle the season and let me be in the season as well. I mean, if I do
yeah.
have a low period, I think it's also important to, like you said, not stay it forever too long, but be able to process things, because if you need to process things that are coming up, you need to give that time as well. So yeah.
I think of flourishing as a garden often, and I use garden metaphor, and we need the whole cycle of how a garden operates, including that like mulch and the dead stuff that feeds us. You know, without
Yeah,
the shit, there's no
yeah,
garden really. So yeah,
exactly.
it is honoring those seasons. Do you have
Mm.
particular rituals around the different physical seasons that you go through, as in the like nature's seasons? Do you have any rituals around that?
Not really follow what you mean, but I with the rituals of the different seasons. But I mean, the different seasons, of course, we are always going into different phases
Yeah.
of the seasons. I mean, I do enjoy the different seasons in a different way. I mean, the fall I do, especially when I have kids, I really try to do the rituals around them. What we can do now, we put I don't know what the word in English, the castagne, do you know?
Yeah,
Small
the
uh,
chestnuts.
a chestnut, exactly, and they're
Yeah,
falling down now, and opening them
yeah,
and stuff like that, and taking the leaves with different colors and do
yeah,
some really like
yeah. Art
you can
or
do a lot of things with art and stuff,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
and just being nature.
yeah.
Rituals are going out, and now
Mm.
maybe it was just early before, but
Mhm.
picking blueberries or
Yeah,
mushrooms in the forest is really
yeah,
nice rituals now during the fall, for
yeah.
example. So
And I
yeah,
think that's something the Nordic region does really well. I mean, mainly because the seasons do allow for that, and it is that kind of traditional idea of the four seasons. Where I live
yeah,
in Australia is less four seasons, a bit more like seven.
mm,
I've looked at some indigenous thinking on that, and it makes more sense. And so living here in these four seasons is actually quite cool, because all of these
mm,
things that, I mean, we don't go mushroom picking where I grew up.
mm.
It was way too dry. There were no mushrooms anywhere,
Yeah,
or anything like that. But yeah, that was kind of maybe more subtle. So I do love,
yeah,
and that people like candles here. You know,
exactly.
becomes really
Yeah,
cozy. Because
mm,
in the dark is difficult, but there are
yeah,
ways you can kind of
hmm,
help yourself
yeah,
through it.
yeah. Exactly, and that's why I think one other ritual coming back to that, and I definitely put out the candles, light
Yeah,
them up, drink a lot of tea, putting a
yeah,
blanket in the sofa, and watching a nice movie. I mean, it's
yeah,
really nice also because in Sweden, because in the summer, and the light is so short,
Yeah,
you feel guilty if you are inside doing so much. You are maximizing everything. Now you
yeah,
kind of, at least the first month of the fall, you can at least with good
yeah,
conscious, be inside and drink your tea and watch TV.
yeah. And you kind of
Yeah,
need it. I don't know about
yeah,
you,
I
but
think so. Yeah,
summer is intense. I mean,
yeah,
you're up really late and you often get up
yes,
early.
yeah,
I find myself, I mean, we had tent life this year, which was fantastic. It was amazing. It was being in touch with nature in a completely different way, um,
yeah,
being in a tent. But I find I'm really tired. I kind of enjoy that. Like, I mean, the days get shorter slowly. Thankfully, it's not too much of a
yeah,
shock, but just that idea of, oh, I can be on the couch. I have to be
yeah,
out in the summer experiencing
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I love that about this area,
Mm, yeah.
um, whole whole region. Um,
Mm.
is there something that you used to believe that you've flipped on its head?
What do you mean?
So is
Yeah.
there something that you've like done a kind of 180 on, something that has really significantly changed um, in how
Well,
you view it?
I mean, the whole view of parenting, I would say, yeah, because
That's
having, I
huge.
mean, huge
Yeah,
pivot
it's huge.
there. Because I mean, you
Yeah,
have your idea, and especially
yeah.
when you have your own way of bringing up how the kids should be, and a family should be. You have this kind of stereotype of how family should be, an expectation, and then you have a child with special needs, like turning everything upside down. Basically, you have to, you have so incredible different understanding, and some other
Mm,
people, the parents, maybe have some thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. But I have to really like understand to be able to say strong and like, yeah, but our family is different. We need to do things differently. He may not be able to go to all the parties, family parties or gatherings we do have. We might he need to maybe sit and eat alone in his bedroom
mm,
instead of sitting us here in the kitchen, for example. Where oh, you should all be, so
yeah.
many expectations. So I think definitely the whole parenting journey, how you, yeah, it's definitely a big pivot for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
amazing because it is all of those small things that you realize how ingrained the way families interact and how what the expectations are and how it feels for you as a parent to make those boundaries for your children.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
quite empowering, isn't it? That
Mm.
feeling of I'm advocating for my child and I'm the
Yeah.
one who knows my child.
Yeah.
How is that kind of presented for you? Have you, I mean, you said you're not the crazy mum. Can you be the tiger mum sometimes? Might
Yes,
be, yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm definitely a tiger mom, and I think that's very good. And we being able to get the support for him.
yeah,
Sometimes it takes long, and especially for the systems here in Sweden and everything.
mm,
It takes like, but I definitely feel that we know what he needs, and we get the
yeah,
support eventually. And I really do fight a lot, and that's
mm,
also been with my nervous system. I realized I am a lot in my fighting response because I need to do it sometimes. But then it's also very important that I don't get stuck there and I be able to ground
mm.
myself. But I definitely need to be a tiger mom. I need to be in a fighting mode a lot in my life as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and that
Mm.
is it's interesting as a mother or as a parent, I guess, because
Mm.
I mean, dads do it too.
Yeah.
We can
Mm.
only speak from being mums.
Exactly.
That you do. It's amazing how, and I love how you said that you're not in that fight mode all the time. That you're
Mm.
really intentional about how you are creating those boundaries to
Mm.
protect your child because you know
Yeah.
your child
Yeah.
better than anybody.
Mm.
It's just so important, and I love even the language that you're using around that. It's really lovely. Um,
Mm.
as you age, what's your relationship with yourself and the whole aging process, Lenny?
Oh my God. Oh, it was so funny. I just had to tell this. We were
Yeah.
watching a movie I don't know why it came up to discussion, but I don't know the English word. It's Oliver and the cat Oliver.
Uh-huh.
88 it came out, and I told my kids that was the first movie that I was watching as a kid. And I was
Uh-huh.
5 years old at the time, and they're like,
Yep.
"You were 5 years old at 88. You were like, you're that old. That's why I found the gray hair hair on you." I was like, so I was like,
Sure.
yes, I'm getting old. I am old, but I was more anxious about my age when I was turning 30, but than I was turning 40, because I was
Yeah.
actually very happy with my life. I'm very pleased with being older and turning 40
Mm.
as well. I was really embracing it, and
Yeah.
so no anxiety about that at all. But I do feel, I think we talked about this before, I started to feel like I started to getting some kind of perimenopause things, and
Yeah.
I started getting some hormones changing in my body, and
Yeah.
I see things more physically is happening in my body that are happening. So that's something that it's totally new for me. Try to
Yeah.
navigate that, trying to eat healthy and exercise and all those things. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I feel of aging right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say that as somebody who has had perimenopause symptoms for 10 years, you can just message me if there's anything weird going on, because I have pretty much had all of the
Yeah.
experiences. But how
Mm.
do you feel about just how society looks at aging? Is that something that you've thought about?
Not that much, I think, especially but I do feel so much happening now in the world with age. And I
Mm.
mean, I do see now really coming back to privacy, people are getting parents when they're getting first time parent when they're 45, for example.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the whole age of creating a family and all things is very changing a lot as well. I mean, so I think age doesn't seem to be a number or thing anymore. I mean, maybe the other cultures is more bigger thing, but not in Sweden. I mean, I don't think it's the age doesn't really matter. I think it could be, of course, an impacting of career maybe in the beginning. I mean, there's so much, and that's also very crazy though. But companies are hiring people that you should be young, but you should have 20 years experience. You know,
yeah. I
that's
think that's a
crazy.
thing.
Yeah,
It's a phenomenon in the whole world.
yeah,
It's that
yeah,
crazy thing of
yeah,
seeing ageism, and perhaps that's something to keep in your radar as
yeah,
you're getting, into 40s and towards 50. From my
yeah,
perspective, I'll be turning 52 soon, so
yeah.
your body goes through a lot of changes, and which does
Mm,
affect your brain, and I'm
mm,
just really grateful that there's so much more research now, um,
yeah,
for
yeah,
for women who are in their 30s and 40s, and there's more discussion about what
mm,
perimenopause feels like,
mm,
because it can present so differently and feel so different,
mm,
depending on who you are. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's maybe to come.
yeah.
Is there some kind of like fuck it decision that you've made that changed everything in your life, that you just went that?
Oh God. Well, I guess I have a few. I am that kind of person. I think that I can just fuck it. For
Yeah.
example, I did it was before kids, before I met my partner. But I said, "Fuck it, this job." I just resigned and had no job. For example, I just fuck it. I hate
Fantastic.
this
Yeah.
management. I hate this how they treat the people and stuff like that. And I was also very young. I was in my middle of 20s or
Mm,
late 20s. And I was like thinking like, and then of course I was abandoning the people though. So maybe I should have been
yeah,
more careful about that. I see that
yeah,
now as being older and wiser. But
yeah. But
also at this
think
end, I mean, I didn't feel good. I wouldn't have been
yeah,
a good manager in that time if I were just feeling this
yeah.
very negative thing that came from the company. So
But
yeah,
it's brave to do that, and it kind of does. I mean, yes, you can do things in a different way when you're older, and maybe it's a bit
yeah,
gentler, but
mm,
just that being brave enough to realize that this is not the way forward for me, like, this
mm,
is not doing anything for me. I think
yeah,
it's a really hard thing for people to do,
mm, mm,
is to put themselves first in a way where you say, I mean, maybe you also have that, like, bravado of a mid-20s where you're like, "Oh,
yeah.
life will be fine."
Fuck it, exactly.
Maybe, yeah, you have a few more,
Yeah, oh, that of course. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
No, that's
yeah,
really cool. I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share about, what you offer to the world, Lenny?
Well, I think we mostly spoke about it. Being an NLP coach and a nervous system facilitator, I do combine the nervous system work and the mindset work in NLP to really help people, moms specifically, but also help dads and men and women. I actually do both to really uh, help them go from a very, very dysregulated, very anxious, or maybe very unclear reality, but they're living on, to be more confident, to be more certain in their own way, to own their way, to own their authenticity. Yeah,
Authenticity.
authenticity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Be more authentic
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
Where,
yeah.
yeah, where. Yeah, and I think that's also being the self-compassion, self-love. I think that's
Mm,
also something that I really work with too, because I mean, having go through the journey myself, but also having a child who's different. And both of my boys are also very sensitive, emotional kids. I really want people, and especially men, to embrace themselves and emotions and be themselves. I mean, they are different. I mean, especially autistic, he is different. He will be perceived different, but don't mask yourself. So
mm,
really helping people, especially adult ones, that I helped so far, is they realize they have really tried, they played a role for
yeah.
so long time and not really connected to themselves. So I think that's why I really helping people with together with the nerve system and NLP. Yeah.
It's beautiful what you have to offer, and I love that you're using all of your experiences and the things that even that you found hard to work with others and to really help others fucking flourish, really. So thank you so much for your time today, Leny. It's been an absolute
Mm.
pleasure chatting, and all of your details will be in the show notes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was lovely.
Thanks for tuning in to the Flucking Flourishing podcast, where we say a bold yes to growth, mess, and midlife magic. If you love this chat, make sure you're subscribed, share it with your fellow Queenagers, and perhaps leave a little love in the form of a review. It helps more fabulous humans find me. Until next time, keep flourishing your way, no fluff, no filters.